So, welcome to the stage, our panelists. These are all my colleagues from Mr. B Wings magazine, and they are the writers and our editor-in-chief. And of course, they're not all of our writers, because we also have a lot of people who work from Berlin, from Ireland, and other places around Europe. But these were the ones who were enthusiastic enough to come over from Amsterdam.
From their home.
So let's first of all start with introductions. Could you maybe start with you and introduce yourself? Who are you? What do you do with Mr. B Wings?
Well, I am Omar. I am the marketing manager for Mr. B, and I write also for Mr. B Wings. I've been in the Netherlands maybe 4 years ago. Well, I arrived 4 years ago, and I consider myself the Mexican Sofia Vergara. Of the accent. And like her, I am smarter in Spanish. Yes. Some people some people question that part, but I am. And I talk a lot. I have a big, very loud laugh.
Yes.
And I love discovering Mr. B because I think that opened a lot of the view of who I am, what I wanted to do, what I want to try, and not just that, but also the diversity that I can find in the LGBTQI+ community.
Yes.
And I am super thankful for that.
Good. And you also have one of the cutest fetishes, like one of the fetishes that a lot of us probably have.
Yes, underwear.
Underwear, yes.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate that I'm not wearing any today.
But it's also fine. It's also nice.
Sorry,
Like, yeah.
And then we've got Clark.
Hello, I'm Clark. I'm a writer for Mr. B Wings for, I think, about 5 years now. Quite a while. I write a sex story every issue, so if you've ever been jerking off, that's me, probably, maybe. Not the pictures of me, to my words, hopefully. I write some other stuff. I write my column. I do an article every issue called Class in Session, where we try and maybe sort of bring light to a topic that's not really discussed, but that maybe people need a bit more education on. I love working for Mr. B Wings. They're not paying me to say that, I swear to God, I really do.
But we pay.
Yeah, we do.
We do pay him, yes.
I've loved, like Omar said, I've loved discovering I think when I started, my whole pitch to Tony was like, I'm going to be the vanilla guy. I'm going to be the innocent, no longer, baby. 6 years? No. Now, I can't pretend I'm like, oh, me? No. Not anymore.
Plus you started as a top. And
yeah,
now,
right?
Yes.
It's
changes people.
I started as a vanilla top, now I'm a
slutty
bottom. Yeah, slap me daddy bottom.
Come on. Talking about slap me daddies.
Oh, sorry. Also talking about sorry, very quickly. Impact play, I didn't know was fuchsia. Next foursome, head to toe fuchsia. You watch me. Work, Mary.
Be careful, he steals personalities.
Yes. I'll be Okay.
Tony, would you like to?
Hi, I'm Tony. I've been working for Mr. B for 13 years now, so I'm one of the oldies. I started to work in a store back when it was still in the Warmoestraat, and then I started doing marketing, and now I am the brand manager of Mr. B. So I'm responsible for everything that has to do with the brand, the logo, the packaging, the photo shoots, the events, and Wings, which I'm the editor of.
And also one of the creators, basically, right?
Yes, yes. Me and then our owner of Mr. B, Nelson, came up with the idea. In 2015, we thought, what can we do? What's like a fun marketing thing to do to, give back to the community, but also share our products, etc. And they were like, oh, let's make a magazine. And then the owner back then was like, okay, sure, do it. So we did, which was really fun. And it has grown so much right now. And with all of you guys, I'm very happy with.
And we're now on issue 15. So
issue 15 is coming out in September. So yeah, I'm very happy.
And it also grew in what it was, because first it was mostly based on also like selling things, right? There was
Yeah, the first magazine is really like a Mr. B magazine. Everything that's in there is about the staff, the parties that we organize, the products that we sell, etc. And at a certain point, it switched because we noticed that people really love the content, but only selling products is a little cheap, I find. And there's so much to talk about and so much things that people don't necessarily know about fetish, and not everybody is, it's easy for them to talk about it, so why not write an article about it?
And I think we also changed a little bit our audience because in the beginning it was mostly, let's say, gay men in their 40s, 50s, 60s who were like old school leather people.
Yeah, which we also love.
Yes, definitely.
No, but we diversified a lot within our writers, but also within our content, the people that we interview. We did a cover photo shoot for the next issue with drag queen Inti, who's a drag queen from Bolivia. From Bolivia, and she competed on Drag Race Spain, and she's non-binary, or they are non-binary, she goes by she and they. And she's now on the cover, which I think is really great.
Fantastic. Then we go, one of our newest editions.
Hi, I'm Matthijs. Out of this group, I'm the newest, and I think I'm still in that innocent phase.
Yeah, he's the new me.
They all start like that.
Give it 6 years, baby.
Yeah. And ruining them all.
I've been writing about sex for a longer time, also before I joined Wings, and I use writing to like discover myself sexually and explore everything that's out there. And I think a year and a half ago, I reached out to Tony, kind of begging him to hire me. Because I wanted the job, but also because I was so curious. And luckily, I'm here now, and I write product reviews, party reports,
So your product reviews means you test toys, and then you write about them?
Yes.
Yes.
And that's very fun to do. So yeah, that's basically
What
it.
was your latest toy that you...
I think I tried the neon loop.
Yes. For those who don't know that, it's a loop that lights up in a dark room or under a blue and black light.
Yes.
And it's kind of sexy.
It's very artsy and very sexy.
Yes. And you said you were new. I remember your first time during one of our photo shoots. You were a little bit like scared of all of us, right?
Yeah, I think even it's this photo.
It's this photo, yeah.
Yeah, I see the fear in your eyes.
Clothes on, fear.
It was the first time I was meeting all of you people, and I was just nervous about, I don't know, fitting in or wearing the right outfit or whatever. But as soon as I stepped in, like, it was a warm, how do you say it, like a warm
Blanket.
bath.
Yes.
Yeah.
We started talking about Drag Race and screaming, and then it was kind of
Yeah.
The ice was broken.
Yeah. And last but not least, Iris.
Hi, I'm Iris, writer for Mr. B magazine. I've been writing for 10, 15 years. I think I was one of the first female writers that started writing about pornography, BDSM, because in the hetero scene there were mainly men doing that, so I thought, come on. So that was fun to be a pioneer in that level. For the rest, I'm a performer. I'm a rubber performer, so, well, I love rubber, I love the transformation, more about that later.
You say you're a rubber performer. In what way are your performances? What do they look like?
When I started performing, it was more BDSM orientated, but I really like the theater part as well. And using costumes and rubber costumes, you can create anything. So you can create a fairy tale, or you can create something dark or something fantasy, whatever. Yeah, it's that's also the reason that I love it so much.
And I mean, you look fabulous. You're a rubber.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'm also really flattered to be one of the guys.
Or one of the girls.
Or
Yeah,
the girls,
maybe.
yeah.
Why so binary?
Whatever. And one thing that I also should mention, I'm also an organizer, so I have been organizing my own party It's a rubber party. It's a small underground party, and it's something new. It was relatively new that I do, but it's fun.
What's the name? So people.
It's the Rubber Bunch.
Oh.
I think there's flyers as well today, right? Yeah.
So I think that's it. But I'm not sure because I do so much.
I would still like to know one thing. What was one of the first costumes that you made in rubber or that you had in rubber that you were like feeling yourself in?
Well, I was always drawn to role play, so I think could be a nun's outfit or a maid's outfit.
Classic.
Yes. Something like that, yeah.
And has it gone? I mean, yes, it's rubber, but it's still a little bit vanilla. Did you go into like bigger costumes or like more eccentric characters at one point?
Over the years, you mean? Yeah, it gets bigger and bigger and weirder and more eccentric, and that's the fun part of it. That you grow in it.
Yes.
It's something that it's never the same. You always discover something new, and you always feel something new as well.
Yeah, I think that's also the fun thing about fetish and kink, that there's always something
Exactly.
new to discover, right?
Yeah. So yeah.
Nice. Thank you for your introductions. We have divided this panel in a couple of categories, and the categories are based on how we write our stories. So maybe Tony can tell us a little bit about the categories that we have, and then we will dive into the questions.
Sure. Since I think 4 or 5 issues ago, we decided to split up. We had so many different subcategories to divide it all in 5 main categories. One being kink and fetish, which is everything about kink and fetish. It can be interviews, it can be a product review, etc. Then we have one about sexuality and health, so that's more about sexuality and health. Then we have community and events, to highlight the community and events within our scene, all over Europe and the world, actually. Then we have
Arts and entertainment.
Arts and entertainment, because there are a lot of beautiful kink artists in all different facets, from performers to people who do Photoshop, whatever. So it's really nice to highlight them as well.
Yes.
And then we have human rights and society as well, because especially now it's very important to talk about these topics.
Yes.
Fully agree. So it was a little bit of a challenge to come up with questions that still had like a logical route. So we're not going to go into really heavy topics because we might be here for a couple of days. But I tried to still keep it to kink and fetish related. So let's start with the first category, which is kink and fetish. And I think I would like to ask this first question to Clark. How did you discover that you were into kink?
Right when I'm eating, sorry. Oh, yeah.
Picture it.
Picture it. Okay. I'm a thespian, so excuse the dramatics here, but I was studying acting in London a few years ago. Oh my God, more than a few years ago now, like 7, 8 years ago. And vanilla as vanilla could be. And I remember this guy, I was alone. All my housemates had gone home to their families for New Year's Eve. I was alone. We couldn't pay the heating, so it was like freezing cold. I remember like looking at the window, like feeling so sorry for myself. I was like, you know what? I'll go on Grindr. And I honestly did download Grindr like a day before. So I really thought that this is the quality.
So wait. So you went on Grindr because you were cold?
Because I was lonely. And this guy came over and he didn't say, again, I was really new to the whole like how you would go about this. But all I knew is that he was over in 10 minutes and I just thought maybe a regular out. And then everything. He was like smoking his pipe and ashing in my mouth. Hello. And then, hello. And then he at one point he tied my hands and my ankles together. And I remember specifically, I said, oh, can I get a drink of water? He's like, yeah, what are you waiting for? And I remember having to like literally hobble to the kitchen like this to get my water. And the whole time I was like, I'm here for it.
Yes.
And then I never turned back.
Yes. You were thirsty the whole time.
The water did not quench my thirst.
Amazing.
And here we are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Same question to you, Iris. What was the first time that you thought, oh, wait a minute, I'm a little
Well-
bit more naughty than I thought I was?
Well, I always thought that I was weird. Maybe when you're a girl and when you have this, this intelligent education, and people tell you, your parents tell you how you should behave and everything, and it's difficult when you discover that you're into things that there's something that's there.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe for boys it's easier. I'm not sure, but I remember that my father had some pornographic books, and he also had this cartoon from Barbarella.
Yeah. Work. I love
And I was
Barbarella.
like, whoa, what's this? I couldn't explain it. I was, but it's something happens. And I guess I also, there was always this fascination of materials, like, touching. And I would love to wear my grandma's heels.
Yes.
So there was always this fascination. So, sounds really, really cliche, but all of this.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like fabrics and things that
Yeah.
turned you on.
Yeah.
What was
I
it
even
like
had
how
this-
they
this-
felt or?
Blanket, and it felt like, it was the only blanket that could get me to sleep.
Yes.
Yeah, well,
And I think one of the longest kinksters here is the man in the middle. How did you discover that you were into kink?
Well, it's a while back. No, I'm a child from the internet. When I grew up, the internet just started. And of course, my parents had no idea how it worked, so I was looking up like porn stuff, and I had to download a picture for 2 hours to get up. And I found it so interesting that I could just type it in and find whatever interested me. And that went from how do you say, van kwaad tot erger in Dutch.
that went from very.
It doesn't matter. Anyway, it went really quick then. So I was looking everything up. How does it work? And bondage and
Yes.
display and whatever. When I started more hooking up through internet, it's very easy to talk about what you're into.
Yeah.
So
What was the first thing you tried out then?
I think I ordered like some stuff online on a dodgy website. Like I think it was like a vacuum pump, a dildo, and a jockstrap.
That was
With
the
all my
so
money
you
I
got
made
like a
with
big box,
Albert
basically,
Heijn.
yeah.
That was the first thing?
Yeah.
Wow, you didn't start slow, did you?
No.
Jesus Christ.
And I never looked back.
Were you still living with your parents? Or?
Yeah, I was living with my mother. Yeah.
And what did they say when you received that big box?
Well, I made sure I was home when she found it in the end, but she's very open, so
She borrowed it afterwards.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go that far.
Oh, honey.
Sorry, no jokes about
No,
parents.
no.
No, but to be fair, I have a very open relationship with my mother, and quite soon I already discussed these things
Very
with my mother.
open
As soon as I came out of the classes, I was telling her about
Yeah.
that I was into
Fun.
these things, and when I started going to Wasteland, I told her about it. She loves Wings magazine; she collects them all. So.
Yeah, I have
And your
my
mother
as
too,
well.
yes.
My
Your
mother
mother is
a kinky
our biggest
woman.
fan.
Marco's,
She's 81, but she's into it. Yes.
Yeah.
Marco's mother, honestly, I just want to add like a little, honestly, sometimes if I'm feeling like a little,
Insecure.
needing attention, I will post a picture of my ass, let's be honest, and honestly, sometimes the only person who's like, you better work with devil faces is his mother. I don't know what that says about my ass, but I'm always like, thank you for your mother, thank you.
There have been moments where she asked for more photos as well.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Now that we're already getting a little bit raunchy, what is a kink or a fetish that everyone should try out and sell it to us? Any takers?
You go on.
Stop it. I know that,
Are
I
you
think we
still
have a
using
similar one, so you can sort of join in.
You can go first then.
Against my will, please. I didn't really know this is where the scene was heading, but I very recently, I think maybe a month ago, tried or had someone piss on me for the first time. And I always thought like, yeah. I love the little. Yes, thank you. And
They're like my mom.
She's watching right now. Eh? We're live.
to Marco's mum. Yeah. Yeah. Reveal. And anyways, so I was a bit hesitant to try it because I always kind of thought, I don't know. I thought sometimes in my mind, in my sub-mind, I run to these places that are super extreme, and I'm like, oh yeah. And then the practical side of me is like, the smell, the stains, and I start being like little Monica from Friends, like, oh, how am I going to clean it? But I didn't have a choice in this. You know, he didn't ask me. He just took me to the shower and he pissed on me, and rain on me
Yes.
ever since.
I think you sold it.
Try it, baby. Or come piss on me in the break. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No, he's not kidding.
And Matthijs, you're relatively
Well,
new, but maybe
Yeah,
also
but
things
I
that you
kind of had the same. I was also very hesitant at first, and I think it took me a couple of years to like accept it. And at first, I was only saying it to, I don't know, dates I had or boyfriends or whatever in the shower when we were already there, and then they said, "Oh, I need to pee." And I was like, "Oh yeah, go ahead, it's fine." Like I was going
Casually.
Yes. But then also a couple of months ago,
Who's the same guy?
maybe is he
In the big
here?
world, it's very, very possible.
Here he is.
Yes, yes. And now, please welcome to the stage.
It would be so fun if it was the same guy. But anyway, like we specifically talked about it on Grindr, and we're gonna do it. And I don't know why I'm looking up all of a sudden. But it's like, it's like
You still,
You're imagining it.
yeah, but it was really like I don't know. Yeah, just
Felt good.
it felt really good.
and what was the scenario?
Well, there was not a specific scenario. We went into the shower because we were also Monicas.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
It
because
is the same guy. I swear to God.
maybe we'll talk about it later.
Compare notes.
Yeah.
And Omar, do you have a kink that you really could recommend to people?
Yes, I will recommend impact play. I think that everyone think that
Where's his applause? Come on, yes.
no, I think that everyone thinks that it's about like seeing blood and like really hurting the other person, but it's not.
No.
Actually, you can go as hard or as soft as you are willing to. And I discovered it during a workshop in the office. Every time that I am talking about my daily life at the office, all my friends are jealous because I just come back home and say like, oh, today I had an impact play workshop, and we were just trying the floggers and the everything that
The
we have,
whips
the
and
whips, the crops, the everything. So I think that is a very way of connecting with the other person, like also knowing the limits that you want to go. You don't have to go hard unless you want to.
Yes.
And I will recommend it. Everyone should try it. Like the feeling of the leather is something that
Yes.
everyone should try.
And between you and me, your husband is also here. Does he like that as well?
He doesn't like pain, but
No.
I am not against pain.
You know.
Do you like being which position in the impact play would you prefer?
Well, to be honest, I like both positions, but he's not into receiving
And you?
pain. Yeah, I
Should
can.
I hit you right now?
Yeah, but it can be. It can be. Well, I had some scars for a while because
from
of
me.
him. So
Not in the way you think.
no, but it can be something as simple as maybe just like hitting someone's ass while you are having sex. So like. This is spanking, this is more spankings. That's impact play. I think that sometimes we don't know how to name it, and you're already being kinky while just spanking someone's ass. So, or being spanked. So, try it.
And I like that you just said you had some scars, because our next topic is sexuality and health.
That's in fact always.
So let's talk consent. I think we can all agree that consent is very important. Do you think, and that is also the basis for a healthy kink experience or a healthy kink relationship? Any of you, do you think that kinksters are more aware of consent? And do you think they are more verbal about what they like and what they don't like, and what their limits are?
Yes,
I
absolutely.
think,
Yeah. Yeah, I believe, and I think it's also documented, that kinky people, BDSM, fetish people, are much more aware of what they're doing. And and I think also in their dynamics, they're much more concerned as well. The common, image is what people that's what the whole taboo is about. That it's reckless and that it's dangerous. I think BDSM is, especially, it's about focusing on somebody and feeling somebody and hearing somebody. So, and consent is of course.
But you also organize a party, as we just heard. And you told me earlier that you also have like a little bit of a feeling when things are not okay at your party, when people are not like being consensual.
Yeah,
right?
I must say at the Rubber Bunch, because of the dress code, it hardly ever goes wrong. So most of the people, they want to dress up. So it's most of the times it's good, but sometimes. You sense that there's somebody, and you sense that their behavior is different, and especially in the fetish scene, is you can see that they're more pushy. They're pushy. They want something from somebody, and while the other people are, they're in their zone, and they're come on, and also at my party, it's very common to touch somebody. And the energy it's fine. It's perfect. It's not,
it's a safe space.
So, it's a safe space. So, you immediately feel it when there's somebody that's,
where the
wrong.
behavior is off.
Their behavior is off,
You wanted to respond as well?
Yeah, well, a little bit similar, but I do think, especially in the BDSM community, consent is really a key thing in the role play, and you discuss the things that you want ahead of time. So I think that's actually more than in the regular queer community. I do think that in the broader fetish thing, just outside of BDSM, it's a little less.
Yes.
Also because of substance abuse and stuff like that. So I think that it's good to have these conversations and talk about it, because especially for younger people, it should be clear that consent is key.
I think it's also interesting because in the gay scene, for example, for a long time you just would accept it, right?
Yeah,
you would accept that somebody grabbed your ass or your chest, or that they would suddenly snog you or things like that.
Yeah, or even on a
Still
date.
happening nowadays.
May I could add? So I know that I had like a similar, I had actually a dissimilar answer to this question when I was thinking about it earlier, but hearing what you're saying, I know it's actually completely correct, but sort of harkening to what you said, I think people should, if they don't, they should have more of I think in the BDSM scene, there should be more of a conversation around consent, because I've had experiences, I'm not going to go into it, but that there hasn't been consent, and it's kind of been a bit, because of maybe this whole like, power play, you're the sub, so you don't get a say, and I'm a very bossy sub. Well, or yes. So, or at least I want to give consent to someone to take control of me. So I think there's a mix of both. Like it is right, and there should be more, or at least on people's minds.
But how do you react to it then in a situation where it goes into a direction that you don't like?
Well, one time was a bit, I'm going to say like frightening, because I literally couldn't say something because I was like gagged, and which normally I would be living for. But in that moment, it was a bit like, oh my God, if this goes somewhere that I don't want it to, where it's kind of going that direction, like what could I do?
Yes.
Thank God it didn't go too far. But now I think, and I don't want to sort of preempt some questions, so I'll touch again on this later, but about red flags and things like that. Yeah.
So yeah, that's the next question. Red flags.
Oh, that is the
Yeah,
next question.
yeah, very, very.
Should I just
I
continue?
love how you are able to see into the future. So the red flags thing. What are red flags in kink relationships and or in kinky hookups? What do you need to pay attention to? When do you think, oh wait a minute, this is not okay?
Should I just continue?
You
Just
can
to finish,
continue.
just to finish that. So I think that's just, yeah, I think a red flag is definitely like if a dom has if a dom is open, the thing is I really want someone to show me that they're open to hearing me prior to the let's say the scene or the play, so that I can really feel. I know it sounds like, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like such a diva, but I'm like, so I feel heard. No, but I want to feel heard so that people, at least I can already say, like, I don't want to do this, this, and this,
these are my
but
limits.
please feel free to do the rest of it.
Yes.
And even if they're willing, or even if they kind of ask me, can I push your limits a little bit? I just want to know that we've had that conversation before, and I found that some doms, because they think maybe this is what a dom should be, they're like, no, you're gonna listen to me. And I'm like, no, bitch, you're gonna listen to me. And then I'm like, my Britney microphone is really helping me out with this right now. So yeah, that's a red flag.
Yes.
But that's more arrogance. I
Yeah.
think that's arrogant behavior.
That's not
You
a good
see that a
dom.
lot in the heterosexual
Bad dom.
scene as well, because some of these guys, they go like, well, I'm a switch. I used to be a sub. Sort of a switch. I'm more dominant lately, but
Yeah,
I know
maybe.
both sides. But what I really, really hated was these guys that, just expected of me that you should look down, you should look down. Come on, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Most of the time I can win the conversation when we start a conversation.
Yes.
It's not like we're in kindergarten. It's like really crazy.
Yeah.
So that's not dominance. That's just stupid,
that's just
arrogant behavior.
And
yeah.
bullying and
Yeah.
And it's not sexy at all.
No, it's not. Like boner killer. Well, at least. Yeah.
So let's do a subject that's connected to this, but a little bit more lighthearted. Do you have a safe word? What is it, and where does it come from?
I don't have one.
I don't have one either.
I think so.
I need
Someone
one.
had the. I think someone had the safe word pineapple. That was this young man.
I don't. Please, okay. Let's do a raise of hands because
I don't know where pineapples come from. I have it as well.
Not one over there.
They were partners
Yeah,
some years
it's a
ago.
swinger thing. Yeah.
so many people have said like they've been like, let's use the word pineapple. I'm like, you think that's original, Mary? Like I heard that every session. So I've used the word pineapple before. I don't know where I would love. Does anybody else use the word pineapple?
But what she says, it's a swinger's code for something.
Oh, what's the code for?
Yeah.
If there's pineapples at the house, then you're a swinger family.
Oh.
Well,
I'll live for that.
Come on, come on.
You should never eat pineapple.
I didn't.
But I believe that the pineapple goes the other way, like. No, really, that's what I understand. Like, I swear, like I have a couple of friends that they are swingers, and they told us that the pineapple
Yeah,
goes
that's
the other
true.
way around.
Yeah.
Like, face down. Yeah, in Spanish I will know how to say it.
Upside down pineapple cake.
I've never. There are
You
no
should
pineapples
leave.
in my house. I'm not a swinger or a switch, but it has happened multiple times. So I also think someone told me before, like it's not a word. Well, it's not a word that would not. It's a word that's so kind of obscure from the scene that you really would know than to listen to it, rather than like. Oh, I don't know. Like, I don't know, like what's the word? Like,
What's
ouch. Like,
Marco, do you have one?
No, I don't. But I should have one.
pineapple.
Yes.
Use it, baby.
No, I want it to be a little more creative.
Mandarin, lemon. Think of it.
I think Omar, you also had a.
Well, sometimes when
more
I
like
am.
a code, right? Than a.
Yeah, it's more a code rather than a safe word. Like sometimes when me and my husband we are playing with someone else, but at the beginning you might not know if you really like them or not. So depending where we are, sometimes we have words in Spanish. But if we think that
Teach us a word in Spanish.
no, you know what's weird? That every single time we change the word. Like, it's like when we are going to go there and it's like, okay, tonight we're going to say that. And if we think that someone or many people will understand, I will just call him by his first name.
Yes.
And
Call him by your name.
then he knows that if I say his first name, it's like, no, let's go.
But do you usually use his first name or not?
Well, actually, it started because one time we were about to start kissing someone, and when we start, like, he had a very bad breath. And we thought, like, oh, we should have a code. And that's how everything started.
And you also sometimes use Dutch words, right?
And yeah, like lekker.
Like
If we think that, like, no one, there is not in the Netherlands, of course, but
so if somebody hooks up with your husband and you say lekker, then it's the opposite you want to go.
yeah.
Very clear.